Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. I'm in the Universal Audio booth here at Winter NAMM 2020 with our buddy Gannon. It's great to see you, man.
Hey, Mitch, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. You guys got something really cool going on here. So this is like the launch of the Luniverse, right?
That's right. We're standing in the Luniverse, and I'm about to show you the Luna recording system. So what Luna recording system is it's the tightly integrated extension of what console is. It wraps with your Apollo hardware, so you need an Apollo Thunderbolt interface, but it's the rest of the application that falls into what console was. It finishes it off, and it gives you the most tightly integrated, inspiring, and I'm going to use the word inspiring carefully here, but inspiring recording analog system that is available in the market today. I chose inspiring because it's quicker, it's faster, and we're trying to make it so that you are unleashed from your creative, obstacles that we've all grown up with. So things like what it's wrapped around. So first, if you've grown up with console, with our Apollo console, you'll recognize the actual console itself. So it's tightly integrated with your Apollo hardware. So you can control your preamps with the hardware, or see, I'm doing this here. I'm controlling my hardware, or you can do it from the software. So it's tight hardware-software integration. It gives you that, but it's also extensions. And what we've done is added what we call Luna extensions. There's Warmth, which is Neve summing. We actually built the summing into the fabric of the console so that it's not a plugin. It actually emulates what the summing does. So you get all of the bits that give you that glue that a 1272 is famous for. We've also built in tape into the same environment. So again, you print your effects and you print to tape, and when you play back, it sounds like you have recorded onto tape. So there's the Apollo hardware integration, there's the software, the Luna application extensions, and the last thing are Luna instruments. So we are actually creating new instruments from the ground up. We have a Ravel, which is a model of a Steinway B piano, wonderful sounding piano. We've done some remarkable things there that give you the actual resonance of the piano. So when you lift the dampers and then press a note, you get all of that harmonic resonance that is really important to that sound. Wonderful piano sound. We also have a branded Mini Moog. So we worked with Moog and created a fantastic Mini Moog. We have Shape, which is a multi-channel workstation, music workstation right within the thing. So you can we have synthesis, we have loops from Loops de la Creme, we have samples from Spitfire Audio and Orange Tree samples, plus our own synthesis engine inside of that workstation. So let me show you a little bit of it.
That's great.
Okay, so starting at the top, what we've done, this is the mixer page, and you can see if you're familiar with Apollo, it's very much like what the Apollo channel strip looks like, only it's more. So starting at the top, we have the input section, and one of the key elements of this is what we call the contextual browser. So if I click on an input here, you'll see what happens on the left side. That brings you up to your choices of inputs. So it's very simple. You don't have to change your focus, and we present what you're actually after. So if I just click there, it changes all these guys. You'll notice that those all changed at once. I've got all of these tracks down below selected. So if you make a group selection here, I'm going to go 4 at a time, and I'll change all of them at once. So that gives you this ability to really modify your console quickly. That's the input section. Now we can look at the next pieces of this. The whole interface is scrollable this way. The next chunk is tape. So if I wanted to add tape to each of these channels to give me that cohesion and the bounce that you get off magnetic tape, you click the tape, and it ships with Oxide, which is people know about our Oxide tape recorder. The A800 is an upgrade, a paid upgrade, so you can add that to your system, or if you already own it, it's yours already. I have to stop for a second and mention that it's free. Luna is free, yes. This comes with, it'll be in a release later this spring, so it's coming soon. But it's, again, this paradigm of being able to click on whatever element you want, and the contextual browser gives you that presentation. So I'm going to put an A800 in there because I'm grouped. You can see that this is a tape recorder going across the whole thing. So I'm adding changes based on my track selection. So again, it gives you a really simple way of getting groupings. Tape is the next chunk down. These inserts, oh, I need to back up one thing. When you go to arm a track, let's go like this, it builds this. You can see this record, these little red boxes here. Those give you your live effects. So these are being reproduced in DSP on that channel. So if I want to add effects to my record path, of course, I'm going to put a unison preamp in there. You'll see I have my huge list. One very big convenience is if I just type in 610, for example, that's all I'm going to see. So it makes it much simpler for you to navigate the system. So again, here's a unison preamp. Now if I add, say, a Teletronics, I'm going to add a compressor after that. So there we go. I've got my record path now all set up, and that is recreated in a low latency path. So we're calling that ARM, and that's accelerated. Let me spit that out. Accelerated real-time monitoring. So it's what people who have been using Apollos already are used to. It's real-time effects. These are printed with no latency. Now, at the other part of this, those are the record effects. If you want to add inserts that are not part of your record path, or if you're adding mixing, then the next section down is inserts. Same mechanism here. So if I wanted to add an insert just for mixing, or if I chose to record without effects, if you were in console today, you would hit monitor. If I wanted to do that, let's just put a distressor on there, and there we go. So now I have a distressor in the monitor path only. So you can see you can print effects or record them at your leisure. Then as we go down, sends are also, these are now physical sends. Now, normally you would send, say, a signal to a reverb bus or a grouping or something like that. So let's make something. So as you go new, I'm going to make a new bus. Let's go for a bus here. Let's make 2 of those, and we'll just call them. You're going to see something special come up here called Neve summing. As I go here, what that gives you is the sound of a Neve 1272 summing amplifier. Gives you that glue, that cohesion, and it's as simple as taking your send, clicking here, you'll see my bus 1, 2, 3 are automatically highlighted because I just created them. I'm going to send those right there to bus 4, or bus 1 rather, and now all of those are sending to the bus. So you can, and the bus is built into that fabric. So again, it's not just a plugin, it's part of the mixer. So that's a really huge benefit for making that sound, making your drums all glued together, making, all of your instruments in groups. That's how I typically mix. So that's how you do sends. Cues are the same way. So here's your cue section here. We need to go down. I have to create some cues. So let's go here. So I'm going to make these cue sends. I don't want them to be mixes now. I want them to be actual cue buses. So now those are going to show up as my cues. So I'm seeing Q1 and Q2 magically appear, as opposed to if I click mix, you don't have anything that you can send to because you're just monitoring the mix. So instantly I now created a whole 2 cues. And like an Apollo today, you can have up to 4 stereo cues. So very simple. Very elegant. You can mirror these to line outputs based on your interface. I should mention, Luna works on any Apollo Thunderbolt interface and Arrow as well. So it's all wrapped, and Thunderbolt's critical to us. We need that path. We need the high speed bus to the interface. So there's that. We'll keep going down the channel here. We've hit cues. We're just going to scroll. One thing you can do if you've seen enough of this, you can hide things very simply. So now we've already hit inserts and sends. We've hit cues. The last piece now is output. So now output, you have main, or you have all of your buses. So you can send any track to a bus. You can send any track to any bus. So you can create the groupings. You can create the subgroups that you need on the fly, basically. Some of the convenience that we've all grown up with, and this is one of my favorite things to show. So we're rolling. Let's go back to the very beginning. We roll. I want to send this back to here so you can see this. I'm going to just drop into record. I'm going to take this track, drop it into record, and start recording as well. Now, if I wanted to change that and actually add a new audio track right there, I can create a new audio track and drop into record. No stopping. what we do is record everything into a blob on the disk, and then we do the sorting afterwards. So there's no more having to stop, pre-allocate, do these things that sort of get in your creative process. So really, immediacy is a really important thing. Inspiration is a really important thing to us. We've gone for the sound, we've integrated tape, we've integrated summing, we've integrated instruments, and it's free for all Apollo users with our next upgrade. So there you go. Is that 5 minutes?
That's fine. That's a great overview. I mean, I had a chance to have a preview of this a couple weeks ago. I was very impressed with how slick it is and how it takes advantage of the technology that's in the Apollo interfaces. But it allows you to push that technology out of the picture so you can just focus on making the music.
That's the idea. That's really the idea, is to just kind of free you up and let you make music. And really, it's inspiring. You know, when you hear your music coming back off of tape, it's like, I'm old. I'll freely admit I've been doing this a long time, but when you record to tape, in the old days, when you listen to a tape, when you're recording it, you're hearing the input of the tape. You're not hearing tape until you hit play. That's what this does. And the first time I experienced that, I was like, oh, wow. I remember that feeling. And the hair stands up on the back of your neck and says, that's better than when I put it down. Right. So we want to go with inspiration. Yeah.
Nice. So a couple of questions. If I understand correctly, Mac only?
Mac only at this point, yes.
Okay. And also, so it requires a Thunderbolt Apollo interface. If someone already owns the interface, do they qualify to have this, or is it only with new ones?
It will come with the next Apollo software update. So yes, it's free with an Arrow as well. So some people have asked, can I use my Arrow with it? Yes, absolutely. So any Thunderbolt interface.
So existing Apollo users are going to get this as well.
That's right.
That's very sweet.
That's right.
Man, thanks for the overview. We appreciate you taking the time to show this to us. I'm really excited. I can't wait to try it out.
Oh, me too. Thank you so much.
Right on. Great to see you.